Yeah.
I remember I used to talk about the rat race. Guys, do you know what is the rat race?
Yeah.
And try to bring that analogy of the ham.
Yeah.
The hamster.
Yeah.
And
Running on a wheel.
But going nowhere. And I say, and the kids would be so like, what do you mean, man? I'm like, yeah. So you go to work, you get paid, you eat your money, you finish your money, you end up at zero.
Yeah.
Now, you're waiting for month end again to repeat the cycle over and over for 60 years. And they'll be like,
Not forgetting that children copy us as adults and they mimic what we do. So we are here to actually change the narrative that even if you come from a background that's not well off, you have an opportunity to be the first within your family to make things different.
He doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. So you just need to submit to what he's saying, and then he will take care of the journey. Yeah.
It's all about movement. So please can we not patronize them?
Hi and welcome to the show. Kalina ke Rasemishi Mutlala, and today a very special show. For some reason, everything that we've been talking about include the politics, the social stuff, and it is very rare that we concentrate on children. And today we'll talk about financial literacy, but specifically for young people. Do we ever actually think, what is the right age of teaching our children how to deal with money and how to relate with it? And Kajeku, we have two panelists who will be teaching us or talking to us about what they do in this matter. And Kikopaho introduce her to you, our Portia and our Ofentse will be here and telling us more about what they do in their daily lives. Ladies, Dumela. Well, nice to see you again. I mean, we went out at some point, and I remember we were in a school called Ense, and we were doing this finance thing. And it was a brilliant program that you've done. I saw you being active coding classing, and there was a board game as well that was involved and stuff like that. Now, my question first, Corey, before we can even get into everything, maybe if you can introduce yourself to the viewers who don't know you, and let your I know for us, Portia, you are a friend and you are a regular mohai, but people see you as in health matters. But finance for kids, we never thought of it that way. Yeah. But yeah, just a brief, who are you guys?
Okay, I'll go first. So I see myself as a wellness coach.
Okay.
Somebody who takes care of people's holistic well-being.
Okay.
And if you recall in my first show here when I spoke about the wheel of wellness, finance was one of the pillars, one of the 8 pillars. So it blends nicely with being a wellness coach. So there's a section there for financial wellness, and that's where I come into the bigger picture of financial literacy in general, or you can narrow it down to a specific population. In this instance today, we'll be focusing more on children.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that's great. Ofentse, who are you, and what do you guys do?
For this session, I'm an educator. I can be many things,
Many caps. I thought I was the only one.
But for this session, I would love to introduce myself as an educator. I love teaching. I feel it's my life's passion and purpose to teach. It doesn't matter what I teach. I've been an educator for more than a decade in primary schools, Montshiwe and in the East Rand. And until I reached a point where I'm like, you know what, instead of impacting 40 kids in a classroom, how about I impact more, and nationwide. So I'm the founder and creative director. I am Mjojo Finance, which is an arts-based program that teaches kids from as young as grade R all the way up to varsity about financial literacy, making it relatable and relevant and memorable.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, this is great. Now, for those who don't know, I don't think I know enough, but I've been in one of the sessions with you guys. No. Now, if you can just take the viewers through there, how do you actually do this?
Okay, the way we frame our projects or our programs is financial literacy has been there. Let's start there. It's not a new concept. It's just that it has gained momentum and visibility now because we, the people, are now becoming interested because of our experiences with the finances. Like from my perspective, I only came to know about financial literacy when I'm already in the job. In the job space, and I've been working for like 5 years. Now when I look at my peers now, they're starting to buying houses, they're buying cars, and I'm like, wait a minute, should I also buy a car? And they're like, affordability. What do you mean affordability? You know, analysis Portia, we work in the same job, we get X amount, she bought a car, I buy a car, what do you mean? What's the problem? And now you learn about credit score. And for most of our people, that's how you come to learn about financial literacy, which is wrong, because financial literacy is a life skill. Which means just as much as we teach maths, just as much as we teach English, we should, from grade R, teach financial literacy. Because at every stage of life, you're going to deal with finances. So we thought, you know what, when I came to that discovery, let's package this. Obviously, our first format was the one that I know, yes, this is profit, this is losses, this is expenses, and they're like,
what I told you.
Because they don't have a reference point. Right? We don't even have a positive role model when it comes to finances. Because most of us were unemployed. How then the only thing you grow up knowing how you make So then we changed our concept in our format. Since I'm an artist, I come from an arts background, how about we use an arts approach? Then when we put a bit of music, a bit of dance, a bit of storytelling, now the kids understand. So that is why we then chose. Instead of just teaching this financial literacy that has been here for all these years, it's just the Brunana side. Using the same format you are using Uncle Sentin, we are using format of guys. But guys, you got music, you got dance, you got storytelling. So let's use that format to teach finances. And that's how we do it.
I found it very interesting. I mean, the first session that we went for, because one of the things that you guys did, which I liked, was taking a concept of the household, and they have to be understanding the running of the household. Electricity needs to be paid, water needs to be paid, we have to be eating, groceries and if you give them that at a very young age, and they can have an eye-opener of. So because I heard you saying that financial literacy in schools have been there, it's not a new concept. But I'm sure your approach to it, like you say, you put a dance, you put the music and all that, but I think that's what makes an impact. And then as Portia, what's the role that you are playing in all of this? I know you come from a financial background as well.
I do. So this is how I actually met Ofentse as a financial advisor. I was looking for opportunities to actually advise people about money, and somebody gave me a poster. I met Ofentse. She told me about this beautiful concept, and I made time to go and watch and see what she does. And immediately a concept was born to say, how about we do a money mindset exercise or activity, so that we get our children or whoever the audience is at any given time geared and ready for what they are about to receive. Firstly, they need to become aware of their money habits. What is their relationship about money? Because money goes where it is wanted. So if you have a negative money mindset, there is no way you can start having a healthy relationship with money. So that's what my role is. Every time we start a session, it doesn't matter where, I always let the children to breathe, exercise like stretching, as well as do money affirmations. So that because affirmations are positive statements that when said repetitively, they become a reality. So that exercise is quite key and important. So in a nutshell, that's where my role is within the scope of Mjojo Finance play.
Okay.
And if I may add, Laura, that is very important, you know. For black people or people that come from underserved communities like the township, rural, urban areas, and so forth, we cannot talk about finances or financial literacy or wealth creation until we deal with a shift of the mind.
Yeah.
I'm reminded of a verse that says, "Be not conformed
to the
but
standards.
be transformed by the renewal of your mind." So session as is Portia, that's exactly what it does.
Yeah.
To bring this renewal of the mind, to move from a scarcity mindset, because that's all we know all our lives, to now a growth mindset that says all things are possible.
Yes.
I can also grow wealth, I can be more disciplined with my money, and I can achieve my goals. So it brings in that relevance in what we do.
Okay. Yeah, I hear that you met somehow, but how long have you guys been doing this?
We mean in general or together?
Maybe both. How does the story go?
Okay, so I have been exposed to financial wellness for quite some time. It's all I've done all my life.
Oh, okay.
But in different sections. So I started at the back office where I did all the technical things with the insurance background. And as I grew in my career, I ended up becoming the front line, which is now doing financial advice, financial advisory role. And it's completely different because now you are at the forefront and you're having to speak to people.
Yes.
Whereas I was comfortable before behind
just
the
dealing
scenes,
with the data in the background.
dealing with just the data. And I think I'll forever be grateful for that opportunity because then it brought me closer to people so I understand people's feelings. Now, it came in at an opportune time where I was also transforming how I view life and how I see things. And this is when now the birth of becoming a wellness coach, taking into consideration the 8 pillars of a wellness wheel.
Yeah. Then coming to you, how, I think as far as this is concerned, how and when did you actually start?
Well, we started back in 2016. It was just purely a passion project for Nna.
Yeah.
And because I would be in class and I was excited about this newfound knowledge on financial literacy. So if Banabanelli a free period or a class is non-teacher and I'm free, I would go there and I'll just do an activity on money.
Yeah.
I remember I used to talk about the rat race. Guys, do you know what is the rat race?
Yeah.
You know, and try to bring that analogy of a hamster.
Yeah.
And
running on a wheel.
But going nowhere. And I say, and the kids would be so like, what do you mean, man? I'm like, yeah. So you go to work, you get paid, you eat your money, you finish your money, you end up at zero.
Yeah.
Now, you're waiting for month end again to repeat the cycle over and over for 60 years. And they'll be like, hey man, I don't want to live like that.
Yeah.
So that was back in 2016, purely just out of curiosity and interest. Until in 2023 when I decided, you know what, I want to do this full time. And I must mention, or I take this as a calling because I would wake up sometime in the middle of the night, you know, and I would have this nudging feeling because I would give up so many times. I give up greater financial interest because it's overwhelming.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I would ask myself, Ofentse,
You win, yes.
And then I'll be like, no, Lord, I'm not qualified. And then I'll just give up. More I wake up and like, no man, I'm doing financial interest. I'm doing. And then keep pushing. More somebody will ask me something. So when a question can throw off and I'm like, no, I don't think I'm qualified.
Yeah.
Are you a financial advisor?
Yeah.
Have you done finances? No, in fact, I studied music. And then qualified to be teacher. So it took me a long journey.
Yeah.
Until back in 2023 when I realized you know, when the Bible says, you know, many are called, few are chosen, and the Lord, when He chooses people, he doesn't cut the rope to feed a man. The rope is he cuts the man
to feed the rope.
So I was like, you know what? If this is what God wants me to do, if this is my life's journey, if I get to le education, le offense, but for some odd reason, I find myself gravitating back to financial literacy. So in 2023, I left my job because of other things, and I just felt I've outgrown the position.
Yeah.
When I packaged this, we took it to theatre. We'd already taken it to theatre before.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, registered it formally, and we had the logos, and now I found some actors, and we're like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is how we came about back from 2016 to here. And we're still growing. We're still learning. That's what I love about financial literacy. It's not a destination, it's a journey.
Yeah.
Because ke student, ke graduator, I've mastered how to manage 1.5 NSFAS. Oops, now you get a job, they pay you 50,000 rand. Now you must manage 50,000 rand. You must buy a house, must buy a car, you must think about kids. Okay, I've managed that, and now you're going into retirement. Now you must manage. Now they're giving you 3 million. I don't know how to retirement. Now you must think, this 3 million must last me up until
80.
So it's a journey, and high fairly, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful journey, and I'm really blessed to be growing and opening myself up to the possibilities that unfold.
I think for what it's worth, I like a statement that I was trying to think who actually said this. I know a couple of people have said it, but there's an original person who has said it, that God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. So you just need to submit to what he's saying, and then he will take care of the journey.
Absolutely.
So if it's worth anything for you, take that. But now, I think you touched on something that I wanted to know, I think from you specifically. It's what has been the challenges in the journey to where you are?
The greatest challenge is funding.
Yeah.
As much as now we are creating access and inclusivity, which is a big word now, but financial literacy, they'll talk about inclusivity.
Okay.
Does it include everybody?
Yeah.
And we've created a platform whereby it's accessible. Accessible, we work about from underserved communities.
Yeah.
So we work about underserved communities, we work out from townships, not just Soweto, but townships all over South Africa. And these are the people who are caught under the unemployment rate, and they're sustained by the social grants.
Yeah.
So how you go on or Mjojo ki o re go ruta bana ba lona ka tšhelete e re kopa le patale 200 rand for one. Parent will ambotsa re nna ke gola 350 ya sasa. So o re mo 350 ke ntse 200.
Yes.
Ke fe ngwana a lo shebella Mjojo. And then bere jang. Then it doesn't add up. So we need funders, we need sponsors, we need collaborators, we need partners, people who will bring in the financial muscles, who will be able to carry the costs. Because as much as for now it may be a calling and a passion, for somebody else it's a job. I mean, we employ about 10 people in our ecosystem. From the facilitators to the actors to the videographers, whenever we go, we need somebody who's going to record this. Because it also forms part of
your profile.
And our footprint. We need a videographer, area theater, we need to rent a venue. What kind of hand? If we are printing material, that's good. So there are running costs that need to be taken care of. And so if we can find partners that can be able to say, you know what, Mjojo, 5 million for the next 2 years. Lona, just go to schools and do this thing for free. If I'm managing booklets, training my teacher, the workshop, the parents, then we'll be happy. But in the absence of that, it means the parents have to pay 200 rands per learner, and it's not easy. So
now that means it's only accessible to the privileged again.
It goes back to, and okay, everybody, if there is a class grade 7 or grade 10, and everybody to attend, then you must give them at least 3 months to pay, 3 to 4 months to pay 200 rands. Then they'll pay the 50 rand. So that means even the sustainability, even the how we regulate our shows. It's not like one show per month. No, it's one show every 3 months.
Yeah.
So that is our greatest challenge.
Yeah. I think to the viewers, for those of you who may not probably have the picture of how this thing works, because of we just followed them at some point. You can check the link up here that will show, and there's also a link at the bottom of the video when you scroll down that will show you a video of the kind of work that they do. And when they say that we need funding, you can understand what they are talking about in order to make these things possible. But yeah, I don't know then. Sis Posh, from your side then, looking at the program, I get about maybe there might be something that probably your partner in crime has forgotten in terms of the challenges in making this thing come into life.
Yeah, I think Ofentse has covered just about everything, but what I want to add is that it does not start and end at the theatre. There is groundwork to be done prior to that. So it means traveling to schools, doing presentations to the school management so they understand the need, and as well as post maintenance or management after. Because after that we need to come and actually assess what the kids have learned. Are they able to apply? So it's not just a hit and run. It's a process. There's a chain. We start by preparing, and then it's the show, and then post the show. And we also need material that we will leave with the kids. Booklets they can take home so that they practice and they also involve and engage their parents.
I think it's a good thing to mention that, because what you're saying about the process of doing this, because some people are thinking you just mentioned and says 5 million, and somebody's mind is just stuck there and says 5 million. What is 5 million for? And they don't understand that there is a process in doing this thing. You don't just wake up and say, we can now hire Soweto Theatre and we can say, we are going to have this show. There's a lot of planning. There's material that is involved into doing that. Like you say, leave materials for kids. I like the idea that you bought the game board at some point in trying to teach children the financial skills through a game board. And I'm thinking, how much money is involved in getting these things going together? And I can attest for you there that people might understand that there's a lot that goes into making these things happen. And calling you guys here, for me, it's a sense of respect to say, I respect what you're doing, that you are giving all that you have into trying to prepare a next generation financially in going. So, as a tradition here, I'll give you those few minutes to say, there's this camera behind me, and you can talk to, I don't know, the viewers, your potential sponsors, or talk to the kids, I don't know, and then say what you feel that you need to be telling them before we can close.
From my side, I'd like to go back to the point again, saying, financial literacy is a learned skill. And what we mean by that is you need somebody that is going to hold your hand, regardless of your age or stage in life. And that is why for adults, even for Batuba, lump sum like that we've seen on shows like I Blew It, yes. They always recommend, get a financial advice. So you need somebody to hold your hand and walk you through the stages. Now we are starting that from grade R, because you understand now they have the advantage of time. By the time of matric, they will have done these lessons over and over and again. They'll be embedded not just in practical knowledge, but also in their psyche, in how they relate to money and behave. For parents, it's never, Ronaldo was a but that has changed. If you want to grow children that are going to be successful, if they have a chance, about money. And to our sponsors, please reach out to us, Mjojo Finance @gmail.com. We are also on LinkedIn. Engage with us. Invite us to your events, like a Kurikolong or a Kurikerekeng or organization. Invite us, engage with us. Even if call us just to say, come and speak to us. We want to understand. We are open to that. Every opportunity we get to speak and expose people to our program, it's bringing us a step closer to our goal of educating the entire nation to be responsible with their money and how to make money work for you. Thanks.
All right, the viewers.
So what I would like to add to what Ofentse has said is that for our viewers, if you are within SGB or you are a principal or a teacher and you happen to come across this material, please definitely hook up with us. Let us collaborate to educate our children about the value of money, the kind of relationship that our children should have, not forgetting that children copy us as adults and they mimic what we do. So we are here to actually change the narrative that even if you come from a background that's not well off, you have an opportunity to be the first within your family to make things different. And that is why Mjojo Finance Play is here. So let us continue to cultivate the culture of positive mindset so that we are able to have a healthy and lasting relationship with money, because that is a much needed skill in our communities.
Okay, for sure. All right. Okay, now it was nice to have you guys here, and probably just the last time that you can repeat your contact details. What was the email? Mjojo what?
Mjojo Finance Play.
Mjojo Finance Play at gmail.com. Yeah, that's it. If it's a quick question, listen, you don't even need to go there. Just put a comment under the video. Ask the question. I know our Portia is here. We promise to drag her all the time to say she will answer those questions on that typing thing. You can do it on your phone. You can get a question instantly, and obviously we'll be helping other people to know better. And from me, Rasemishi Mushala, and our two lovely ladies, and our producer who is a lady, you see we have a very balanced South African what's happening here. Thank you very much for watching. Till next time.
Thank you. Yeah.